Hey, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We're back with another Upland video, and Upland has made a couple of exciting announcements. One of those I'm talking about today. I'll talk about the other one in an upcoming video here very shortly, and that is you can now build factories, and Rio has been announced, the release details for that new city. So two pretty exciting things we'll talk about, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to build a factory, how it works, and talk about what the benefits of a factory are as far as we know right now. Of course, I love the likes, shares, comments. Love seeing new subscribers on here as well. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who did that. And I have a real estate investment channel, Mark Ferguson Invest for More as well, if you want to check that out. We actually had a couple break-ins to some of our properties recently that I talked about, so if you're interested in seeing not always the good things, but the bad things about real estate, I go over those too. Okay, so I'm in Upland, a virtual real estate game where you can buy properties, trade them, flip them, rent them, and build structures. And cars are recently introduced to Upland as well too. So something happened yesterday that I wasn't expecting, but I'm not always paying attention to every single thing in Upland, and that is they announced factories can now be built. And this is on Upland, talking about getting prepared for manufacturing. So starting today, which was actually yesterday, Uplanders can begin construction on their own factory, which will power the manufacturing of all 3D objects in the Upland metaverse. These unique structures will be integral to the future of Upland as we move towards the release of outdoor decor and other assets in the metaverse. Read below. Similar to the real world, assets like structures or cars in Upland require time to build and produce. Car production has been happening at the motor plant, and 3D items will soon begin manufacturing in factories owned by Uplanders. These factories will be able to produce outdoor decor items for distribution throughout Upland and not only require space for the structure, but will also require a designated inventory lot to store items once production of an item is complete. So we'll talk about that too, what they're talking about. And I'll show you how to actually build the factory. Initially, factories have limited functionality and size. Uplanders, currently part of the Outdoor Decor Beta, will be the first to use these factories to produce their own items. Later, they will sell new assets through their showrooms, okay? You'll have the opportunity to build a factory on their property to prepare for future manufacturing. After the beta, Uplanders, let's see. You can trade with other Uplanders. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. And this is kind of important. Keep in mind that storage capacity is relative to the size of the inventory lot. While there is no minimum size inventory lot required, a bigger location will allow for greater capacity of item storage. During production, when an inventory lot gets full, factories will not produce any more items until the existing inventory has been manually moved to other properties. When space allows, production will continue. Additionally, we expect to have multiple factory designs. Different factories will allow for the staking of additional spark, which may lead to faster production times. All right, so what they're saying is you have to build a factory, and then you also have a separate inventory lot, and you'll only be able to store as much inventory as that size of the lot will allow. So the bigger the lot, the better for factories. Factory details, spark hours 8,600, minimum stake 0.5. I'll show you how long that will take as well. And expected living unit 0. How to build a factory, they have a video on how to do it. I didn't actually watch that. I just kind of did trial and error. But you select small factory, position it on your lot, and you kind of want to position it so that you have as much inventory space as possible. And I'll show you what I mean there. And you can drag it. We'll show you how that works. All right, so heading over here to Upland. What size of lot do you need to be able to build a factory? I'll show you some factories I already started building. Now, I probably won't keep these. I don't want multiple factories being built because it'll take a very, very long time to build them. How long will it take? We'll show you this one right here. This is one I started yesterday. I dedicated 0.5 sparks, so the minimum amount, and we have 715 days left to build it. So they take a very long time to build. Now, if you max out your spark, I think the calculations where it would take, was it 22 days, something like that? If you have 22 spark dedicated, don't quote me on those exactly. That is something I'd read somewhere else, and I haven't double checked those stats. But kind of like an apartment building, it takes a lot of hours. In fact, it takes more hours than an apartment building to build, and apartment buildings take quite a while. So speaking of that, on our Discord channel, which I'll link to below, the Invest for More Discord channel, there's some discussion about apartments versus factory. Like, which one's better? Is it better to have a factory? Is it better to have an apartment? And some people are saying, well, the apartments are more valuable because you'll have people move in, you'll be able to collect more rent. We're not sure what factories are going to be doing, how valuable they will be. But we do know for sure now that factories will be able to build stuff. They will have some value. We don't know for sure what will happen with apartments. Yes, you can kind of have a shop right now in Upland if you're approved and you've got to have a lot of block explorers or things to sell to have a shop. So there is some use for structures now, but for the vast majority of us, there is no use for apartments, houses, ranches. They're just cool, right? They're cool to have. Eventually, at some point, they might have some more utility, more rent coming in for most of us. But we know factories will be able to be used for something to make things, to build things. So because of that, at least for right now, I think factories are going to be more valuable than apartment buildings and will have more use. So also, because there's such a huge amount of spark needed to build a factory, I think there's going to be a lot less factories being built than apartment buildings. Plus, you need a lot bigger lot. And just the scarcity of those factories, the commitment it takes to build them, I think will increase the value of them as well. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just my first opinion from right now. Now, let's see here. I don't know if it will show my inventory lot. So this is a 461 up to, I don't even know how you're supposed to say that, ups, size property. That's a big property. I'm in Bakersfield. I don't even remember how I got this property. I think it might have been through a trade or something. But you can see the factory still takes up a big chunk of it, and it's 461 square ups. So you need a big property. I've got another factory I started that I'm going to show you here that can give you an idea of the smallest lot you need to build a factory. And let's scoot over here. And that one is in Detroit. And I'm going to talk about our lazy nodes here in a second too. And where is that? Is it right over here? I bought those properties on 8 Mile because we kind of had, there it is. I wanted to do kind of a lazy node on 8 Mile. I just kind of lost focus because we have our other nodes I've been focusing on, Henry Ford and Neponset. But I still own a lot of properties on 8 Mile. And a lot of those properties are bigger, which is kind of nice. So I had a property right here. And you can see, I fit a factory on it. I made it crooked because I wasn't planning to keep it. I didn't even pay much attention to it. 110. So you are able to put a factory on a lot that's about 100 up to, if it's like perfectly square. You can see this is almost perfectly square property. But do you really want to do that is the question. And I'm going to show you why right now. And hopefully this isn't, I've only been building this for a day as well. And what we're going to do is just demolish this sucker. I'm sorry. Bye-bye factory. So, oh, it's requested. I just have to wait a little bit. Well, all right. While we're doing that and waiting for that to happen, hopefully it happens pretty quickly. The lazy nodes are doing fantastic. Let's check them out and see how they're doing. Oh, those are my properties. And they announced Rio. So Rio is opening next week. I'll have a lot more on that here probably tomorrow at the latest. But Rio is opening next week, and it's got some different times for the opening. I think it's what they say it was 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Pacific time. So for those of us on the West Coast, it's going to be a very early day. If you're not used to that, I'm usually not up that early. And then I think the stress test will be released on, was it Monday? And then let's check this out here. We'll make sure we've got it right. On Monday, and then the full city, I think on Wednesday, if I read it correctly. And let's just check those dates right now because I don't want to give you the wrong ones. And we'll talk about Rio more later, but just to give you, there we go, July 26th at 5 a.m. Pacific time, which I think is that 6 a.m. my time? I'm Mountain time. So that'll be early. And then terminal sale, July 22nd. Registration opens, and then the stress test is July 25th at 9 a.m. Actually, maybe July 25th is Monday, and then the release is Tuesday. Okay, So Monday and Tuesday, there you go. So those are the releases. We'll talk about that more here coming up soon. And then let's just check, and I doubt that they've gotten my demolition here done yet. I don't know how long it takes to demo a property. I don't think I've ever demoed a property. So hopefully, I really wanted to show you how it works. But I'll figure it out, even if it takes a little longer. All right, Neponset, is one of our lazy nodes. And speaking of that, while we wait for that to happen, I would love to start a factory in the Henry Ford node. Henry Ford, the name is synonymous with manufacturing, building. The assembly line is like the perfect place to have a factory. I have a factory started in Bakersfield. Not super excited about that area. I just had a big lot there. I started one on 8 Mile just to kind of see how big of a lot I needed to build a factory. So I'm not super excited about that one either. As you can see, I'm already demolishing it. But Henry Ford would be perfect. But I don't have any properties big enough yet, so I need to find a property there to buy. I'm looking at the Queens floor. We're at $52,000. So another property popped up that's kind of cheap. We're up in the high 50s here, close to 60 the other day. And then going to Detroit, we'll look at Henry Ford, and I'll kind of show you too. I'm at upexcellent.me, by the way. Upexcellent.me shows you all kinds of good stats. There's some real cheap properties. I remember this person just posted in our Discord that they wanted to sell 3 of these for $100,000. And that's actually they're for sale here for less than that. So they must be looking to sell. Let's see here. I haven't had a chance to respond to them. But I was thinking I would do that deal. And if that isn't right next to my other one, 32,000. Let's see if they'll take 30. We'll make that offer right now. Okay, so that's why we check the floor. Those are some pretty cheap properties. We've been at 38, 39 for a long time, and now we can see the floor is kind of dropping, and that happens a lot, especially because Rio was literally just announced. Now people are going to be trying to liquidate properties, trying to sell properties, get money for a new city release. In between now and Monday, will be a fantastic time to pick up good deals if you're looking for good deals. There will probably be a flood of properties coming on the market, even in the lazy nodes. And Neponset actually didn't have too many coming up here, but we've got a few at Henry Ford. And I definitely want to participate in the Rio release, and I'll film it as I always do. But I don't mind picking up some good deals in between now and then as well either. All right, so that's interesting to see that. And then something else that I've been doing, and I'll kind of show you. Oh no, we can do it from here, is searching for big properties in Henry Ford. I've made a few offers, but they haven't been accepted yet. Let me see if it's, hold on, I need to click on that, and that will give me all of them. And now I can kind of filter it by the biggest ones for sale. So you can see there's one for $1,700, with $1,700 up for $699. That's expensive. A $299 for $250. A $215 for $5 million. Very expensive. So $191 for $130. That's a little better deal. $185 for $95. So there's some okay deals on here, but nothing great. And then that's just a lot of money for. I pretty much want one that's at least 200, if not bigger. And I'll show you why here in a second. So I can come on here and see what's for sale based on size. That's one way to do it. And something else you can do is we can just click on all, sort by that. And then I think we need to go down here and expand this. This just allows us to show all the properties. One thing I like about our lazy nodes, and one reason I chose them, someone asked me on this Discord too, is because there's only 566 properties in Henry Ford, and about the same in Neponset. In some of these neighborhoods, you'll see that many properties for sale, like at one time, let alone having just that many in the entire neighborhood. So here we can, let's see if we do this right. We can search by the absolute biggest properties, and these are just all of them, not just ones for sale. So you can see there's some other ones here, and maybe some of these people would be willing to sell at a little more affordable price than the ones that are for sale. So I have made a couple of offers, and I think they were all rejected. But I might make some more and see if anybody's willing to sell some of these bigger ones, because I'd love to get a little bigger one. And I can kind of see based on what price they paid, right? I can see if they minted them. A lot of people did mint these. This person paid a little bit more than mint. Who knows when they bought them exactly. Some have structures on them already, so I don't want to buy the ones that already have structures, because you can only build one structure per property right now. So I'll look around here, and I might make some more offers. I think I made an offer on that one, and see if we can get one. And if anybody else has a big one that's at least 200 up to, let me know in our Discord. Post a message there, and I'll probably be willing to trade or pay for or buy it if it's a somewhat decent deal. And you do see, right, the markup, if we search by that. Let's see here. Oh, it's being weird. Anyway, I'll have to put for sale. And I would be willing to pay US dollars for good properties too. All right, now we're searching by markup. See, that's the 300% markup for that really big one. Is about the floor. But what you will see too, that's only a 300% markup. That's the one I just offered on. So if someone wants to buy that before my offer is accepted or rejected, that's a really good deal right now. The bigger they get, usually the lower the markup is, just because big properties are usually hard to sell. So I don't feel bad making low offers at all on the bigger properties, just because a lot of times they're a lot harder to sell. All right, let's see if my building here is demolished yet, because I want to show you how it works a little bit. Is it? All right, look at that. Okay, so how do you build a factory? It's very simple. Build, just like you would any other. You need sparks. You have to have 0.5 spark available. If you don't have 0.5 spark available, it won't let you do it, okay? And then we can kind of zoom out a little bit, see what it looks like, see where you're positioning it. And like they said, you want to position it as close to the edge as you can. And you can see you want to make it as straight with the lines as well, so you can get it kind of over there. There you go, as close to the edge as you can. And I think, oh, whoops. Let's see here. That looks fairly straight, much straighter than I had it before. So that's, you could probably put a factory at 100 up to size property, because this one's 110. So then we say, great, it's in the right spot. We'll select colors. We're not too concerned about that. Now you've got to put your inventory lot on, and you can see this in here. We'll try and scroll a little bit. And it can be any shape, any rectangular shape you want. So you click here, and you can kind of, if I'm moving to the left, it makes it longer. If I move down, it makes it narrower, and then we can just click on it like that and move it into place. But you can see our factory is taking up so much room. So, and I don't know if I can, oh, I can turn, so yes, I can also do that. So there, make it just a little bit bigger. Then we position it here. Oh, we might be able to make it a tiny bit bigger. Yeah, oh, there we go. A little bit that way. Yep, there. Pretty much maximize it. Maybe we can squeeze it a tiny bit more. That's pretty much as big as you can make it right there. So this is a pretty tiny inventory lot. So that's why you want to have a big lot. You're going to spend all that time building a factory. You don't want it to have a tiny lot. You want to make sure it has a good lot. So then confirm size and factory. This can't be changed. Your inventory lot will be 13.45 up to, so not very big. And we don't know how much inventory that will allow. But if we start construction, confirm you want it, yes. You can see it's 716 days to start from 0.5. So that's how you build a factory. Pretty easy, pretty simple, but you definitely want to make sure you have a big lot so you can have a much bigger inventory size. And really, the ideal lot to have once you get into a bigger lot is not completely square like this, because then, you can only put your inventory lot on one side up here. But really what you want is a big rectangle. And then you can put your factory on one side and have your inventory lot over here to use as much space as you possibly can. And I had some other people who were trying to sell me some properties before. Oh, there's a factory being built. Look at that. Yep. That's a gigantic lot. But some people had some real strange lots. I don't know if I can find one here where, it was straight and then it had an angle over here, and they're big, but because of that angle and the way the rectangle works, it would be, you wouldn't be able to use as much space as if you have just a straight rectangle. So that's something to think about. Let's see what this... They're down to 15 days. They've got max spark going on a factory. So look at that. Okay. So obviously they think the value in factories is here as well. So I would love to get some land in Henry Ford. If anybody watching has more than a 200 UPX lot, I'll keep making some offers as well, and we'll go from there. All right. Like I said, more information coming on Rio soon. The release, of course, I'll be participating. I'll be waking up early to do that. More information on factories coming up as that happens. Make sure you check out our Discord. I have lots of discussion on there on the factories. We've still got contests running as well for the Lazy Nodes where we help people do community builds. We've got an apartment going in Neponset. It is happening right now as we speak. And I just gave away another property for getting 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations to, I think it's Jerome who got that. And of course, we'll have lots more advice and contests coming up here soon as well too. All right, here's our community build where we took this one from, it's down to 15 days now, and we'll have a new contest before that's up. But I think, taking that from 400 and some days to 15 days is pretty cool to do that for our lazy nodes and communities. If you aren't familiar with the lazy node, check out Discord, check out my other channels, my other videos. I talk a lot about that as well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Love the likes, love the comments, keep those coming, and good luck in Rio.